You guys like vampires? Well, that's good, because this video's sponsor is Grim Hollow. Not only is this Kickstarter an amazingly dark world setting run by an evil vampire, but also offers more complex and actually interesting transformation mechanics for all your characters to become vampires. And also liches. Enjoy running around Itharis with long fangs and gross skin while the plague takes everyone but your undead genius. It also offers tools, guides, and tables for making your own grim campaign, not just in the provided world, but in general, because it's awesome. Now go watch a video where I kind of bash vampires. This well-dressed dude from the 1700s with a massive widow's peak and little pointy bits is a vampire. You can tell because of the widow's peak. Honestly, most editions of Dungeons & Dragons don't explore vampires heavily or consistently. So I'll do my best to piece it all together and fill in the blanks with rumors our good friend Vlad the Impaler had spread. In the beginning, God made the heavens and the earth and Dracula. Because I have absolutely no idea how the first vampire started existing. It's honestly nothing short of a miracle how any vampire exists considering all the things that can stop or kill them. Here's a list from just a couple cultures. Put any kind of wooden post in its heart. Have sunlight touch it for like half a minute. Just not let them in your house. Push them into a river, or just pee on them. It does the same thing. Carry garlic, a Bible, rosaries, crucifixes, holy water, roses, a copy of Shrek Forever After, or mustard seeds. Smacking them with anything silver? I'm not kidding when I say this. Most cultures have vampires that if you spill a bag of rice in front of your door, the vampire will be overwhelmed with crippling OCD that forces it to count every grain until the sun comes up and it has to go home. Now that we know having a pocket full of garbage will help keep us safe, let's look at why we were even afraid in the first place. The cool thing about vampires as antagonists is the fact that undead twists their emotions into sort of hateful inversions of themselves. A vampire pained by the loss of a loved one can become a twisted monster obsessed with seeing them again, or have a hateful wrath directed at whatever killed her. Remembering that your old friend Todd made the best pizza turns into a boiling jealousy of his recipe. Actually, it might not be the undeath that makes him so angry. It's the fact that half of reality can just smite them at any moment. The few things they do enjoy, they don't understand, because they don't have a soul. That's their actual shtick. The reason you can't see a vampire in a mirror is because apparently your mirror is your inner self? Damn, even my inner me looks sickly. But your soul, supposedly, is where your emotional core and your morality lies. Without it, after having lived a life with one, makes you a confused and misguided husk. The blood-drinking aspect of their personality is actually a pretty solid metaphor. With their lost humanity, they crave understanding, to feel the warmth and life the living get to enjoy. But because they're stupid undead, slurping up hot Kool-Aid is the only way they can get close to the high of being alive. Apparently this works, which explains the fangs. I also think they die without it. I don't know how. Jumping back to the beginning, I'll spin you guys a narrative of vampiric origins. After the world was rich with humans and humanoids, Count Dracula was still there. Don't ask how, he probably drank cow blood from the world's birth till Romania made a place called Transylvania. He snuck around in shadows, macking on cute girls' necks in the middle of the night until they all died from severe blood loss. Then, when the Transylvanian elders buried them, they totally fucked up the burials and the girls became Dracula's spawn. After a few years, Dracula let his fancy ladies drink his own blood, which in the monster manual is a ritual of turning into a less shitty vampire. Which means his ladies could also grow their own vampires and vampire spawn just as easily, and their coven began to spread. Until the Belmonts and Geralt of Rivia cut almost all of them down, saying, "Damn, you're ugly." Vampires also have their cute little coffin motif, where they sleep during the day. Look at him, he stole that from mummies. It's adorable. But because they've got weird-ass versions of soulless undeath, their bodies are bound to where they're buried. So if they were buried in like a shitty wooden coffin in the Nevada desert, they'd have to unbury it every sunset and carry it like Jesus till they found a castle to infest. It also says if they don't have a coffin, they just have a fucking backpack full of dirt. Like, you know what, that makes sense. Moving on. Since there's one vague chunk of text about vampires followed by one of the largest stat blocks in the game, let me tell you what they can do. It's not their main thing, but they have a habit of transforming. Now, this isn't like a druid where they can reform into any creature they see traverse the wilds. They can turn into a single bat or a medium-sized cloud of mist. These incredibly powerful undead fiends can either turn into a sick rodent or Brad's vape cloud. Why can they summon swarms of bats or rats or wolves, but only become one of one of those things? Oh, I'm sorry, my mistake. They can only summon those things at night. They make up for it by being able to charm people and magically command these servants for all eternity. Oh, no, only a day. Well, half a day. They gotta go coffin nap for 12 hours while the scary son from Mario is up there trying to kill them. If you want a vampire villain, make an environment where their weaknesses aren't a huge issue. For example, Strahd von Zarovich, one of the coolest vampires ever, forced a region into a demiplane and filled it with thick fog. Just fuck that son up, my guy. Or Dracula from Castlevania, which is a pretty solid Netflix show with really good animation. Instead of ever going outside, he just makes a few thousand flesh demons that raid towns, also at night. To avoid the terrifying wrath of a vampire overlord, the Dark King of the distant castle, heed my warning. Go to bed on time. That's it. They can't get you otherwise. That's basically vampires.